this before in the past, as Rob has said. We have proof that we've done that in the past. Rob was actually just there just a couple of weeks ago with Senator Kim, and we were met with confrontation. That is exactly what happened. It was totally unnecessary, but we were just simply there acting as members of Congress.
This is an immigration detention facility administered by a private prison corporation. What are you worried about in terms of what's happening on the inside?
Well, I mean, one, we had no notification about them opening up. We had saw the mayor of Newark talking about how they had some, conflicts with code enforcement, fire, those things. And so we're like, hey, we've never been here before. We didn't really get any information about this facility. And they had just started accepting detainees according to them as of May 1st. So we're like, hey, let's go inside. We had gotten reports that children were there. That was very concerning. And so that's why we showed up to go there to make sure the prison was up to par, they were up to code. I mean, we're not professionals in code, but we wanted to see what was going on in there, speak to some detainees, which we had the opportunity to do, to speak to them. So that was our number one thing, just doing our job, going there to make sure everything was okay at this new facility.
As Eamon meant, sorry, go
I
ahead.
just have one thing to both of your questions. So after the scene that we've been talking about for the last 24 hours, we were invited in to conduct our oversight tour. So they're saying that we stormed the facility. Why would you bring us in, right? And bring us soda, right? Because Bonnie was a little dehydrated, right? Why would you do that if we had stormed this facility? So that's, to me, the point that I think is important for people to understand is, one, that after that scenario that people are saying was a political stunt, we did our job, as LaMonica said. The reason that we were there was to conduct an oversight tour. We stayed, we waited over 2 hours, we went through that mistreatment, and we did our job afterwards.
When you say Bonnie, you're talking about Bonnie
Coleman, sorry.
Right. And she is an 80-year-old congresswoman who you can see in that video is at the center of that scuffle. Kind of a tug of war. In a way, it was a bit frightening to watch her at the center of that live last night. What was it like for you both?
I mean, it was definitely upsetting to me. I mean, I was saying, please do not touch her. Get your hands off of her, because I was, very scared about what might happen. I didn't want her, to fall down, get hurt. I mean, I have a lot of respect. We both have a lot of respect for Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman, who's been a mentor to both of us. And so we were just trying to protect her as well. I mean, as you can see, I have no regard to her being there, to any of us being there, or anyone with all of the pushing and the shoving that was taking place. I was just super frightened at the time, and I kept having her in mind. And even afterwards, we were like, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? I mean, we asked for a soda for her that they offered us and gave to us. But, it's just, she's our elder. She's someone we're on the shoulders on. She's the first Black woman elected to Congress from New Jersey. And, we have, much regard to make sure we're taking care of our member that was with us.
DHS has since threatened to arrest members of Congress, including the two of you. What's your response to that?
I mean, it's an act of intimidation. That's what all of yesterday was. We showed up there, the three of us. We had been waiting patiently for an hour and a half. The mayor, unbeknownst to us, presents himself at the gate. He's there with one other person, maybe. They bring over 20 armed ICE and HSI officials to the gate, who are masked, who have no identification on them, who are there with the ICE brass from Newark to confront 3 lawmakers, members of Congress, and the mayor of New Jersey's largest city. So everything that they've been doing has been to escalate the situation and to make us fearful of doing our job, to make the mayor fearful of doing his job, and in my opinion, to make all Americans fearful of what this administration can do to them.
I know this might sound like a simple question, but why do you think they wanted to do that in that moment? I mean, why, as you said, if they let you in, why would they then turn around after giving you access for 90 minutes and letting you see and do your job? What switched and made them say, you know what, let's now try to escalate this?
I mean, I think this is just what this administration does. This is a pattern of behavior that we see from the administration, making things difficult, causing chaos. I mean, not allowing lawmakers to do their jobs. I mean, we constantly see that each and every day. Once again, we're going to be arrested for doing our jobs. Like, we are there to do exactly what we are supposed to be doing. We did not break any laws. We are not breaking any laws by going to show up unannounced to a detention center. But I just think this is what they want to do. They want to cause confusion. They want to cause chaos. And I think showing that you can treat 3 members of Congress like that and on live TV and everyone recording, it definitely instills more fear into a regular person, who's walking the streets, who feel like, hey, oh my God, I'm scared to death. If they can treat an elected official like that at the federal level, They can do anything.
We're also hearing the White House, both the president himself and his aide Stephen Miller, talk about trying to suspend due process for immigrants. What's the role for Congress here in trying to make sure that the Constitution is observed?
It's a constant erosion of constitutional rights. You've seen it since day one of this administration. And the only thing I would add to what Lamont had said about the previous question is that this is a pattern that they are creating, that this administration is creating. It's judges, it's federal judges who they disagree with their decisions. It's mayors, it's now members of Congress that they're threatening, and even members of Congress. When Robert Garcia, our great colleague from California, had said something about Elon Musk, he got a letter from the acting U.S. attorney in the District of Columbia. So this is a clear pattern of intimidation, and at some point they are going to cross the line, and that's why we want to tell the American people that in this country, under the Trump administration, no one should feel safe.
And to be clear, as Stephen Miller said on the very same afternoon that all of this happened to you, flirting with this idea of suspending habeas corpus. If habeas corpus is suspended, taken away, that impacts a whole lot more than just immigrants, visa holders, undocumented people here in America, right?
It takes away due process from every American, and that should be a problem for all of us. Like, I mean, why would we want to, instill for them to be the jury, the judge, and all in this administration that has constantly lied to us, broken rules, disobeyed judges multiple times, disregard for Congress and the Senate? Why would we want to do that? Like, based off behavior just from January 20th, from when the president was, sworn in. It's dangerous and it's terrifying to think that they would even be thinking like this. And why think like this? Because they're not getting their way in every corner. Judges are stopping them. They're not able to do everything they want to do. So they want to continue to weaken the rights of the American people.
I'm curious to get your thoughts on what your constituents say to you when they see you out here doing this type of oversight, this type of work. I think it speaks to a broader debate, I think, within the Democratic Party in this country at large as to what our elected officials should be doing in this moment to try to fight the Trump administration and their abuse of power. And there's no doubt that when members of Congress go out and they're kind of seen on the front lines of this fight, they get a lot of praise, they get a lot of support. What are you hearing from your constituents about this fight and this struggle? Do they want to see more of this, or do they think this is disruptive?
They want to see you speak up,
Right.
And that's not every day, that's not on every issue, right? But if there's something so fundamentally wrong as what you saw yesterday,
Something
they want
fundamentally
you to
wrong.
you to be
Yeah,
there.
that's right.
Congressman Watson Coleman, she's being surrounded by ICE at the age of 80. They want you to say that's not right. And what happened yesterday was not right. What happened to Monica and to Bonnie was not right. What happened to the mayor was not right. That should not happen in this country, and people need to call it out, right? So they expect their elected officials, rightfully so, to call out these things, the harm this administration's doing. But what we all need to do is band together, right? And say not as Democrats or Republicans, but as Americans, this is fundamentally wrong. And that's what we've seen people ask us to continue. And what we're asking our constituents to do is to lift their voices because they are the red line in a democracy.
And it's un-American. Like, this is un-American, regardless of what side you're on. It's un-American and it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Obviously in New Jersey, we're home to many immigrant families. We represent thousands of them. And immigration has been a big piece for us in New Jersey. Immigration is in our backyards. And this is something that's concerning. Many organizations are speaking out against the things that are happening. We see it each and every day in New Jersey, and this is why this is important to the people that we represent, and why we all should be speaking out when people are being, denied due process, and members of Congress are being denied the exact right to do their job.
What did you actually see inside this facility? Congresswoman McIver, you talked about the things you worried about. What did you actually see?
I mean, at the end of the day, we were able to speak to detainees, and the detainees told us about how they were okay at the moment, but they were so confused. They did not know what was going on. They did not have access to phones regularly to talk to their lawyers, to talk to their families. Some